before I get into this episode in specific, I just want to apologize real quick for not being able to do a review of the last episode. I was very, very busy last week, graduating college and everything, so being able to do that would kind of not be possible if I wanted to actually spend time with my family and, sleep. That would have been nice, but it is what it is. So I just wanted to do a few little seconds talk about the last episode and then get into this one. So the first thing I want to talk about is King. I love the whole bait and switch with his family and his true origins. Really, really great stuff with that. I loved the whole dynamic of Luz and King coming back in full force. Really, really cool. All the collector stuff. Oh my god. And what I really, really think is admirable is that this episode doesn't have Luz, King, and Ida in it at all because of what happened at the end of the last episode. And somehow this episode is still amazing, which I think is just really, really admirable to just how good the cast of the show actually is. But with that little recap of the last episode out of the way, I just wanted to delve into this episode and talk about why I think it's just so great. So the first thing I wanted to talk about actually is a little prediction that I had for this episode, which is the actual person that would be aligning with Gus. Personally, I was very, very wrong, but I still want to talk about this because I think it was kind of funny. I thought it was either going to be Eberwolf, since they would be important to the story, I assume at some point, besides just helping Darius, or it would be Kikimora, because I thought it would be cool to see what Kikimora's up to now that Hunter is, on the run. Maybe Kikimora is doing more stuff. Both of them are very, very wrong. It was a very obvious pick, which was Hunter. I think it makes a lot of sense, and it's great to see Hunter interacting with Gus, especially since Gus did not trust Hunter at the jump during the Flyer Derby tryouts. So seeing him really come to trust Hunter was really, really great, and showing that Hunter is living in squalor at this point. It's revealed that Hunter, instead of running away to either Willow's house or maybe even Amity's house or something crazy like that, he actually has just been hiding in the abandoned theater in Hexside. And I thought that was really, really cool connective tissue as well, because the theater was abandoned from that one episode in season 1 where Basilisk came and tried to steal all the magic away. So seeing that the theater was still there was pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. And seeing him living there so effortlessly just made a lot of sense too. But before I get into the Hunter Gus stuff, which is a lot of this episode, I'm not gonna lie, I just want to talk about something really, really specific that I just loved, which is this new Coven head character that we're introduced to, Gray. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit worried when in the preview it showed this random character, but a lot of people were like, oh, it's the Illusion Coven head. And that got me really excited. I was like, oh my god, another one of these Coven head characters, because every one we've seen is actually pretty sick. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Eberwolf, I wish, talked, but at least they're paired up with Darius. But, Rain, Darius, Terra, these are all really compelling characters. So I'm just like, oh, more of them? This is awesome. And I think that Gray brings a really, really unique energy to this entire show. They're very, very dramatic, but not in a way that's annoying or, weird. And it makes a lot of sense since they're an Illusion Coven, expert. Having them be so specific and meticulous about everything and really, really berate everyone just makes a lot of sense. Now, I've never really been super into theater stuff. I used to be in plays and stuff when I was a lot younger, but I can't even imagine how insane some of these play directors are, and film directors, if you ever worked on a location shoot. I cannot imagine how specific some of them are and how really down to the detail they are, but this Gray character really, really gave me that same energy. But the thing I really, really wanted to talk about with this character is how they know they're working for this scumball, but they just don't care. It felt really, really great to hear them say, yeah, I'm working with Bellows. Of course I'm known to trick people. That was crazy, and I really, really enjoyed that line. But now that I got Gray out of the way, because I just really enjoyed their character, and I want to see them more pretty much immediately, especially since they're a slimeball like Terra, I'm going to get into the actual episode. So let's talk about Gus himself, because Gus really, really got a glow up this episode, I'm not gonna lie. I always felt like for a really long time, Gus was by far my least favorite of the main cast. Gus definitely had a certain lack of depth surrounding him. However, I feel like this episode really did a lot of effort to try and make us feel for Gus. My favorite moment was when he actually was seen thinking back on that time where he went to the cemetery with Bartholomew and basically feeling terrible, like, oh, these kids used me again, like I just keep getting used by people. That was a really great moment. Something very minor that I wanted to bring up was the reincorporation of the graveyard itself and the stones that Gus found there being important. I felt like this made this episode in retrospect a lot more important because a lot of people did not care for that episode besides Lumity, so very much enjoyed that. Now, although there aren't many episodes left, which is really sad, I wish there was a season 3, that would have been awesome. I just really hope that Gus gets some more moments like this, some moments of real vulnerability. I think the show has had a really great through line of being confident in yourself and being really skilled with magic, because many people on the crew have said that the Boiling Isles is this place of free expression, and you can be whoever you want to be, and you can be with whoever you want to be. It's this place of unrivaled independence, essentially. And I think it's really interesting how the Emperor is trying to subjugate everything, and you have to do this specific coven, and you have to only have these specific spells, and you have to follow specific rigid rules, when the whole point of the world that they're living in is that they can be whoever they want to be. They can do whatever they want to do. And I think it's very fitting that these young people like Gus and like Willow, who are very confident with themselves, have the ability to be really powerful with magic. I've even started noticing this with Hunter. The more he tries to actually be himself and sort of go against the Emperor, the better he seems to be getting with this weird teleportation ability he has, and also becoming more in sync with his palisman. I don't know, I just thought that was a really neat detail. Willow has had the glowing green eyes in this episode as well. However, Gus has had them as sort of a freak out accident. I'm hoping that this means he'll be able to use it in the future on his own volition. That'd be really great, not gonna lie. But my main worry is that these abilities are from them touching those objects from the Emperor's castle. That would be the worst thing ever, I'm not gonna lie. If that is actually how they became so strong, that would be horrible, like really bad. Because I noticed that Amity did not have the glowing eye stuff, and Amity has become significantly more confident in herself. So if it's really just because Willow and Gus touch those sort of sacred objects to their respective covens, oh, that would be just terrible. I'm thinking about it very vividly, and it's just not at all what I want to happen. Speaking of Willow and Amity though, I just want to talk about the B plot, because that was really great as well. We finally get to see Amity and Willow working together like for real, and it felt very satisfying, but also like painful, because I hated the little moments where Amity would say stuff like, "Ooh, lucky shot, you got that, wow," and sort of patronizing Willow. It was such a shame because Willow has really leveled up and shown how powerful she is and become so much more confident and just herself. And seeing Amity be like, "Oh, lucky shot," very annoying. However, I actually really liked it though. It felt not that rushed in a weird way, because obviously there's been moments of them trying to be more friend-like in general. I felt like that was a really great B plot, and this whole episode, even without having, again, like there's no Luz or Ida in this episode. It's kind of insane, and I don't know, I just really enjoyed this episode. I also thought the ending was really great, because the whole group essentially was like, oh, I wonder what Luz and Ida are up to, and then we sort of get the whole spiel from Hunter. The Emperor is evil, here's the plan for the Day of Unity, and not only is Amity, Willow, and Gus in that scene, but the whole school is basically in that scene, and now on board to help Luz and Ida. And it's just like, that is so awesome, especially since they literally just took down a coven head. But now they are literally directly against the Emperor, and it's, yes, so cool. And I'm very excited to see how they play into the final battle against the Emperor as well. But yeah, those are all my thoughts on Labyrinth Runners. I really enjoyed the whole episode because of all the stuff that it gave to Gus. We got some more great moments with Hunter, some really nice stuff with Willow and Amity, sort of really solidifying their friendship again and now seeing each other as equals. And I really enjoyed the Illusion Coven head, and I want to see more of them. Basically immediately. I hope they're not like in a comatose state from what Gus did to them. That'd be kind of lame because they were pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, another banger Hunter episode. It kind of seems like it's a trend at this point because Hunter is such an amazing character. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think outside of Luz, Ida, and Amity, Hunter's right there. He's so amazing. Like, oh my god. Every time he's on screen, I'm like, something crazy is about to happen. And then under him is probably Velos at this point because he's just such a monster. Ugh, I love him. But yeah, that's really all my thoughts on the episode. I really enjoyed it, even though there was none of the main cast even in it. It was just really, really enjoyable, and I'm glad to see what the rest of the world is up to while the main cast is suffering, hiding inside their house. Now, if we see Lilith next episode, that would be amazing, because we really need to see what everyone's up to at this point, especially since Lilith is strongly related to Ida, obviously, and maybe Hootie sent her a letter. That would be amazing. If you made it this far into the video, thanks so much. I actually really, really appreciate you wanting to hear my thoughts on the Owl House, because I am literally obsessed with this show and I love talking about it. So if you want to keep hearing me gush about the show, consider supporting the channel. I also talk about Amphibia. I know the fan bases overlap because I'm addicted to that as well. So if you like either of those, consider supporting the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. But yeah, that's everything I have to say on the episode. Really, really loved it, and I cannot wait for the next one. I think this one's going to be a banger. Hope you enjoyed, and have a good one.